I remember my mom hit me so hard that this ear kind of started ringing so bad that I couldn't hear nothing for 2 days. And she told me it was because I was being disrespectful. You want to know what the hell I told her that she claims was being disrespectful? I literally said I was not going to clean her room. I just did a POV about this. I was not going to clean her room because her boyfriend and her had all this stuff all over the floor. The bed was nasty. Her room was nasty. And she expected me to clean that. And she expected me to do it well. She expected me to do it before he got home. And I'm sitting up here like, are you freaking kidding me? Why would I have to clean your room? Did your parents ever make you clean their room? I don't care what nobody says. If your parents make you clean your room, that's crazy. Because my mom always told me to clean her room, to clean, even if her boyfriend was in there, I would still have to clean the room. Even if he was in the bed, I had to ask him, can you please get out of the bed so I can fix my mom's bed, because otherwise she's going to get mad at me. And he would be like, I'll just fix it. And I'm like, no, my mom asked me to fix it. If she finds out that you fix it, I'm going to get in trouble. So just move. And he'll look at me like, okay, well, I guess. And then he started to expect it to happen. Now, so every time he came over, he was like, oh, so are you going to go fix the bed? He started to get into that bad habit just like my mom. He started telling me, oh, can you go fix the bed? And I'm just like, y'all sleep on there. Y'all mess up that room. Why am I cleaning it? My mom didn't want to do it. She didn't want her boyfriend to do it because she wanted to look like, oh, you know what? No matter what, my daughter will always do it. I'm like, what the hell? It doesn't make sense, but it didn't make sense to me either back then. But I realized that my mom was the type of woman that always tried to impress a guy or impress anybody, even if it was at the cost of humiliating somebody else. And that's what I did not like. And that's why she slapped me so hard that day, because I told her, I'm not cleaning up your shit no more. That's exactly what I said. People are like, oh, that's disrespectful. But at the time, I was really tired. She would wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning to clean up her room after he left to go to work, so that by the time he got back, the room would be cleaned. Yeah. So when I was about 5, I remember my brother and sister were not born yet, and my mom had this boyfriend that I did not like because he was doing stuff to me, and I told her and she didn't care. And he was only with her for a green card. So I remember he came over and I saw him, and I literally ran from my mom to go under the bed, and she ran after me and she was like, come say hi, because for some reason a lot of Latin people, they want you to always say hi to everybody, even if you tell them you're uncomfortable. So she yanked me from under the bed and she was like, Mija, just go say hi to him. She literally dragged me all the way outside and she pushed me into this man's arms, and he was groping the shit out of my back in front of my mom, and she was just like, oh, that's how he shows love. Woman, he is literally going below my back. What are you talking about? That's how you show love. And I started screaming and crying, and she yanked me into the house, and she was beating my butt because she was like, you're embarrassing me and you're making him feel bad. After that, I really did not trust her. My aunt let a man back in the house that molested me because she felt bad that he had nowhere to go, and also because she still loved him. So me and my brother, my sister, and my mom lived in this apartment by ourselves. My aunt did not live there with us, and my aunt was a very toxic person too, just like my mother. So my mother had told me, oh, you know what, your aunt's coming to live with us. She brought a man over, which was her boyfriend, that she was pregnant by, that nobody knew. She knew, but nobody knew. I was like, she's going to live in the room that's over there. And I was like, okay, whatever. I like my aunt because at the first time she was always nice to me, but at the same time she would like hit me here and there, but I always thought that I deserved it because she made me believe that I deserved it. First night that they moved in, this man literally on me when I go ask him for a nail clipper, and then I go tell my mom, I'm like, Mom, what happens if a man does this? Is that okay? She was like, who would do that? And I told her exactly what happened in that same hour. And I literally was like, you could have kicked that man out. You could have said, you could have did something. But she was like, no, next time if something like that happens again, tell me. I was stuck because I was like, oh, next time I have to tell you? Okay. I tell her next time, and I tell her next time, and I tell her 5 more times, and she does nothing. And she goes and tells my aunt, and she tells me to tell my aunt. Aunt starts crying. She's mad. She's mad at him. She wants to beat him up. She's losing her shit right there. Takes her outside, and I can hear my mom tell her, I don't think you should kick him out or call the police. You're having a baby with him, and I know you love him. I think you should give him a chance to explain. And now just go in there, lay down with him, and just love on him until you have to actually ask him, did you really do this? I literally broke down in pieces, and I went to the bathroom and I cried. And then you know what happened when I was on the toilet crying? That man came in from the bathroom that actually was a 2-door bathroom, so it connected to my room and to her room. I literally was crying, and he came in there and he did it again. And I was crying even more because I was scared. So then she confronts him. My uncle, my other uncle, and my granddad are at the house this time, and a whole bunch of other people. She confronts him the same night that everyone is there. Nobody does anything. Calls me in. I walk through the 2-way bathroom, and she was like, did he do this to you? So she wants me to explain in full detail what that man did. He was like, I did that to you? No, I didn't. I'm just like, yes, you did. I'm in the corner crying and screaming. She's throwing things at him, sharp objects, by the way, and she's literally hitting on him and everything like that. I run out of the room, go to my room, and I'm laying on my bed, and my uncle's like, my other uncle's like, can you please and stop crying? Why are you crying? Bed. He was already like halfway asleep, so I don't even know if he knew what was going on. But really, you want to talk to a kid like that who's crying and scared? She takes me outside on the patio and she comes and talks to me, and she was like, you know what, you never have to worry about that man again because he's out of here. I did not see his things. I didn't see him for 2 days. For 2 days I didn't see him. That was the weekend. That was Saturday and Sunday. Monday he was back in the house 1 o'clock in the morning, you know, because I went to go get me something to drink at 1 o'clock in the morning, and he was literally in the kitchen. I'm thinking since my aunt talked to him, maybe he might stop doing what he was doing. No, he literally picked me up, put me on the counter, and was doing it the whole time while everyone was sleeping. And I literally went to the bathroom and I cried. And he also went to the bathroom and did it again. And I'm like, 2 times in one night. And it wasn't even 2 o'clock yet. It was still 1 o'clock. And I literally crawled into bed. I was shivering because I was so scared. I looked at my aunt the next morning and she was like, I'm so sorry, Mija, but I can't leave him out there because he has nowhere to go. And I love him and we have a kid together. So I'm out like that. I have to give him a chance. And I looked at her. I'm like, who's going to give me a chance? Are you guys going to leave me alone with him? Do you know that he comes to the bathroom? Do you know all that? Like, do you know what I'm dealing with? I am literally 7 to 9 years old now. And you're literally allowing this to happen. And then my mom was like, don't make a big deal about it. Like, just stop talking about it. Because once you stop talking about it, it'll stop happening. I'm like, no, it's not. It's going to keep happening. So my aunt got mad at me. And I remember she punched me so hard in my chest because I told her that she was a bad mom and that's why she lost her other kids. And now she's going to probably lose my little cousin because of what I'm about to tell the school. Punched me so hard and she told me, if you tell the school, they're gonna come and take you away. They're gonna come take your brother and your sister away too from your mom. Never gonna get to see them, and you won't ever get to see your brother and sister again. Do you want that to happen? I was like, no. A scare tactic, because that's what would have happened if like CPS would have found out what was going on. And I did tell CPS, and you know what's crazy? People keep saying, why didn't you tell CPS? Where was CPS at? CPS multiple times. I told CPS on 5 different occasions. All they did was call my mom, talk to her, come to the house a couple times, and then after that, when they found out everything was good, they stopped coming. So CPS didn't really do anything. And she let this man back in. That man literally followed me all the way until I was 9, all the way until I was 13 years old. So to my grandma's old house, my childhood home that I loved so much, that actually became sufferable to live in because he was also doing it there and nobody said anything. Now he's also living there with my uncles and nobody said anything. But I was with that man until I was 9 years old to 13 because you know what? He left and he kidnapped my cousin from my aunt and he went back to Mexico. So my finger ripped off at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know how it happened, but all I remember is I woke up from this shooting pain in my finger because in my dream someone cut my finger off. And ever since I was a kid, I've always had crazy dreams of I've had crazy dreams about a lot of things, okay? So I woke up at 5 something in the morning and I was like, why does my finger burn so freaking bad? And I looked at it and I realized like my nail, like my whole nail from all the way from here, this whole part right here, to down here was like coming off. It was bleeding, it was bruised. I was scared as hell, but I kept falling asleep. I could not get up. I was so tired. I'm like, dude, I can't get up. So I just kept, like literally. And I did not wake up until 6:45 because my man was like, are you okay? And I'm like, I think my fingernail ripped off. And then I actually woke up and I made that video of like my fingernail ripped off at freaking 5 o'clock. It was 6 o'clock in the morning when I made that video. Dude, this is the second time that in my sleep my fingernail has snapped off my finger. It was this one first that ever did it, because I've had nails for a long time and my nails never did that in my sleep. But all of a sudden, one time this one came all the way clean off. When I say clean, it ripped. The roots right here didn't snap off, but the whole nail right here snapped off. Ooh, that burned. My finger was hurting so bad. But oh my gosh, my man was so nice. He was like, do you need something? I'm like, yeah, can I get the nail clipper, because I was gonna clip my nail off. Boy, I was clipping and I can just like hear the squishiness of it, like my fingers squishing around. I'm like, have you literally ever had a 3-year-old beat you at Uno? So my baby sister, she's very competitive. Very competitive for a 3-year-old. We got the jumbo sets of Uno, not the small one, the ones that literally you can whack somebody from across the room in a different state. And yes, I do season my steak with mustard. It's just a grinder. Don't get your panties in a twist. So we playing a couple rounds. I'm like, you know what? Okay, whoever wins. That's what we're talking about. She's like, when we take the cards out, she was like, no, I'm gonna win. I'm like, you don't know that. She was like, I'm gonna win. I said, okay, sorry. And you know what happens? She literally tries to put down more than 2 cards if it's the same color of the card of the deck. I said, no, it doesn't happen like that. She was like, well, it happens when I play. I said, then it's not a real game. She was like, it is a real game. Whatever. I win the first couple rounds. She gets upset. She cries. I'm like, no, you can't do that. That's not fair. You have to play fair. She was like, you play fair? I was like, yes, I do play fair. She was like, okay. So next game, she comes and tells me, oh, you know what? You can win. I said, okay, fine. She hits me with all of the 4 same cards, and then she hits me with the 4 pluses and then the +2s. She's 3. Shut up. She's 3. She won and beat my ass. Now, you tell me how I'm supposed to come back from that. So, yeah, where does a 3-year-old learn how to play like that? Because when I was her age, I didn't play like that. I felt like a loser.